So I'm here today with this week's beauty bit, and since we're focusing on eyeshadow this month, I thought it would be really fun. We're going to do a deep crease look with some of my favorite fall colors. So I'm really excited for that and to share that with you. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and share this over to the rest of the group. So as you guys hop on, just tell me hi, tell me where you're watching from. I'm just going to go ahead and share our video really quick. All right. I think we're just about ready. Okay. There we go. Now everybody can see us. And I'm really sorry, it's kind of dark in here and kind of glowy. A storm is like rolling in outside out of nowhere. And so now I've got kind of funky lighting happening here. So hopefully you guys can see me okay, well enough to see what I'm doing. Okay. It's so weird. It's actually like a pretty glow inside my house with like this storm outside, but it's hey. But I don't know how great it's gonna be for makeup. So I guess we'll see. All right, so we're doing a deep crease look today. And the deep crease look, basically what we're gonna be doing is really kind of focusing on this crease right back in here and using a really pretty deep dark color back there to really make our eyes pop. So the colors that I picked for today are a few of my favorites. So anytime you're gonna do a deep crease look, you wanna have 3 different colors. So you wanna pick your midi color or midline color. Your midline color is going to be essentially like your base color. It's mid-level, it's not light, it's not dark, it's just kind of average kind of color, right? But so you wanna make sure that you pick a tone that's gonna complement the other colors. So for my mid-tone today, I picked this color right here. It's called Bright Eyes, and it's a really pretty like shimmery copper color. I love it. It's like one of my favorite colors. And so when I say you want to make sure you're picking colors that go together, is that this is a copper color, so it's like a really warm color. And so you wouldn't want to pair it with something super cool necessarily. They tend to complement each other better if you stick with either warmer colors or cooler colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the big end of my eyeshadow everything brush. Because this is our midi color, we're going to kind of cover most of the eyelid with it. So I'm just going to kind of tap into my color here until I've got a nice amount here on my brush. And these eyeshadows are so highly pigmented, you don't need a lot of them. So you're just going to go through. And because this is a shimmer color, I like to do that initial application kind of more as like a light tapping motion rather than like a swiping motion. Sometimes when you're using shimmery colors, if you start to swipe over them too much, then it can lose some of that sheen. And so I'm just going to kind of tap it in until I kind of cover my whole eyelid with it. So I'm going to come in and do the same on this side. Now once we've kind of tapped it in on our whole eyelid, then what you want to do is use that same fluffy end. I'm not going to add any more eyeshadow to it. And you're going to come up here above that eyelid, and here you're going to do your kind of window washer swipey motion. And when you do this, you want to focus on not getting in front of that brow bone. So you want to go all the way up to the curve of that brow bone, but you don't want to go past your brow bone or in front of your brow bone. And you also don't want to come on this inside part here. So we're just going to kind of window washer this back and forth right here to blend it. And basically that's exactly all you're doing with this color, is kind of blending that out. You should never see like your color here and then white or whatever your skin color is here. It should always blend from your skin tone into the eyeshadow, or eyeshadow into your skin tone. And that is what I love this brush for so much. It just blends everything just flawlessly. So you can see how it goes from that color and it fades out to your skin tone. That's what you want to see. And just up to the curve of that brow bone. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more color on that same fluffy end, and we're going to halo it just a little bit here under the eye, and I only come about halfway and halo that right there. What's everybody doing today? Is it stormy where you guys are? All right. So we've got that halo effect going on. We've got the bright eyes all across my whole lid and blended up to that brow bone. So once we've got that, now we're going to go through with that deep crease color. So we want to switch to our darker colors here. So for the deep crease today, I am going to go with this color Kin. This color is so pretty. It's like a dark plum. It's got just a tiny, tiny bit of shimmer to it. You don't typically want to put a lot of shimmer inside that crease because shimmer reflects the light. And anytime you're highlighting something, you're bringing it forward, you want it to reflect the light. When you're putting a contour color, a dark color in a crease, you don't want it to reflect the light because you want it to act as like a shadow. And so this has just a little tiny bit of shimmer. So it's okay, but you wouldn't want to use anything super, super shimmery right in that crease. So I'm going to come in here now with the small end of my eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm just lightly going to tap the tip of it into my Kin eyeshadow because I don't want to get too much. You can always add a little bit more, but it's harder to blend out if you get too much right up front. So what we're going to do with this color is we're going to take it in the outside corner of our crease, which is typically about right here at the corner of your eye where your eye meets that crease. And you're going to just kind of let most of the product sit right there in that crease. And so I kind of rub it in right there for just a second, and then we'll slowly start to spread it. And I'm just keeping that brush kind of wedged right back in that crease. And so we'll come out to that corner and then we'll kind of feather it all in towards that center part of your eye. You don't want to go like all the way necessarily in, at least not for this look. So we're going to kind of blend this out, pull it to the center. I'm going to get a little bit more here. And just fill that really nice, deep, dark crease line. So you can see that the product is a lot heavier here on the outside and then tapers off as it comes to the inside. And what I love too is how easily these eyeshadows just blend into each other. You can just really take your time to get everything blended just right. So now I'm kind of blending from that corner down to that corner of my eye just to kind of fill in that gap and make sure that there's no holes left over here. And then I'm going to flip my brush where I had that bright eyes color and just kind of come up here on top where that crease meets where we have that bright eyes. And we're just going to blend and marry the two together. All right. So then we're gonna do the same and add that kin over here to this side. So I'm gonna come into this kin color again, just with the very tip of the small end of my eyeshadow everything brush. I'm gonna come right here at that corner and kind of nudge it in. Ooh, I can hear some thunder outside. I love like stormy days. I think like living in the desert my whole life, you know, you just like really come to appreciate stormy days. It's hard to say that when I know that there's like places being hit with hurricanes right now, but we just don't get rain like that here. And so it's really nice when we get some good thunderstorms. Okay, so again, we're just kind of nudge it in this corner, and then we're just gonna feather it right through that crease. So we're not putting it on the eyelid, we're not putting it up to the brow bone, we're literally just running it right here, but with the weight of the product out here in this outer corner. And then again, I'm gonna flip my brush, and we're gonna blend that Bright Aids right into the top of that. Blend everything down into that halo. Kind of check and make sure we got everything nice and even. I'm gonna add just a little bit out here to this outside of this crease. All right, blend that just a little bit. So if you're just joining us, we did the Bright Eyes, which is that copper color, across the whole lid and up to the brow bone. And then we're putting Kin, which is this beautiful plum color, deep down in that crease. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this flat end of my multitasker brush. This is my favorite brush, by the way. And we're gonna come in here and we're gonna get our Sabrina. Sabrina is this really pretty shimmery like bone color. And we're just gonna tap this right here in the inner corner of our eye, and kind of same thing, we're gonna just kind of feather it back towards about the middle of that eyelid. And then I like to just kind of feather it up just a little bit, just to really brighten that inner part of your eye. And what that does is it really accentuates the dark that you have back there in that crease. So we're gonna come in here and get a little bit more of this and tap it right here in that inner corner. And again, because this is that shimmer color, I like to just kind of tap them, at least at first. Until you need to blend, I like to tap because it makes it keep all that shimmer really nice and pretty. And I'm just gonna kind of drag a little bit of this Sabrina here. So we ran that Bright Eyes kind of about halfway under, and I'm just kind of pulling the Sabrina just under maybe this first like third of your under eye. And then I like to take a little bit more of it and tap right here on the front of that brow bone, just to really help lift that brow bone. And again, it accentuates and shows off that nice work that you did putting that dark color down in your crease. All right, so today we used Bright Eyes, Kin, and then Sabrina on that inner corner. And you can see that it's just this really pretty glowy fall look. So we've got our bright color, our copper color, and like a deep plum back there in that crease. And then always when I finish with my eyeshadow, I like to go through, wow, it's like really turning me like yellowy here. Thank you. I like to just go through and just kind of make sure that sometimes you get some fallout from your eyeshadow, especially when you're using a little bit darker colors. So you just want to make sure that your cheekbones are still nice and brightened up, and that you don't have like funny little dark spots anywhere. All right. So I've got my cheekbones re-brightened up, and then we will put just a little bit of blush on because I didn't have any eyeshadow before. And when I don't have any eyeshadow on, you don't need a lot of blush or else it looks really unnatural. But once you've got some more eye color on, adding a little bit of blush really just kind of finishes off the look. So I'm going to tap that blush right into the apples of my cheeks and then just kind of feather it back. It's like same kind of concept we did with starting that dark color on the outer corner and then pushing it in. It's kind of the same with your cheeks. You want to always start where you want the color the heaviest and then kind of feather it to the places where you still want that color, but you want it just a little bit lighter. And this is like, if you can see me flipping my brush back and forth, this is like the beauty of cream foundation, is that you can put your blush here, you can put your contour here, and you can kind of move and blend and mesh and melt everything together. And it's so pretty when it all just melts and is blended together. And then anytime you do a real heavy dark color on your eyes, I like to keep lips really soft and simple. That's just kind of like my own personal like makeup rule, is that if you go really bold with one, you kind of go more chill with the other. You don't ever really want to go super bold with your eyes and super bold with your lips, unless you're like Angelina Jolie and you're shooting a movie or something. Okay, now we can put on a little mascara here and kind of finish off our look. And if you're an eyeliner wearer, eyeliner is really pretty with this deep crease look. However, I like to only do the eyeliner from about the midline of your eye out to that outer corner and leave this inner corner nice and bright. I think I lost some eyelashes right here. I'm trying to make up for it. All right. So that's pretty much it for our deep crease fall look. I will, oh my gosh, it's getting so dark in here. I will post a picture and I'll list out the colors for you so you guys can see everything that I used in case you want to try this look. If you try it, please take a picture and share it with me. I would love to see how you like it and some of the different color combinations that you try using this look and this technique. So that's it for today. Thanks for joining me.